What do you get when you take one of the world's premier hotels, simmer it in the unparalleled scenery of Deer Valley, seasonally add several dashes of the greatest snow on earth, and then marry all of that together with one of Utah's most celebrated chefs? This week on Taste Utah, we're in Deer Valley, reminding you about some of the most elevated mountainside dining you can experience. The St.Regis is world-renowned as the House of Astor, bred in tradition, innovation, and impeccable service. Chef Matthew Harris's roots at St.Regis Deer Valley, well, they go all the way back to opening day. We know Chef Harris is the co-owner and executive chef of Tupelo, and over the years, we've come to understand his simple and sophisticated approach to food. We begin our culinary journey today by sitting down at RIME, mid-Mountain Deer Valley, sampling some of the freshest seafood you can experience mountainside. Then, we introduce you to the newest innovation, La Stellina, which means little star. We have an inclination this little star shines brightly as Chef Matt takes us through a tasting of what inspires him and his team about Italian cooking, celebrating our Utah food community and why it's actually good food, great people, and service that truly radiates from the heart that's the secret ingredient in his sauce. Behind every good food story is a great people story. Taste Utah brings you the faces behind our local flavors, from soil and seeds to the variety of our authentically Utah restaurants. The views along the way, they're not bad either. Food is a necessity. It's how we create it, craft it, and experience it together that truly connects Utah's restaurant community. The secret to our sauce is simple. It's our farmers, artisans, chefs, restaurateurs, and hospitality professionals that make Utah a dining destination. You always have a seat at this table. A few seasons ago, we sat down at the newly renovated RIME restaurant in the St.Regis at Deer Valley, where taking the funicular is just the beginning of what's bound to be an unforgettable dining experience. RIME offers simple ingredients and intentionally sourced seafood, paired with local flavors and an elegant yet approachable menu. That's always the perfect fit after a day of any adventure in Utah's great outdoors.
We try to represent our purveyors and give them the respect that they deserve, whether it's from tuna tartare from Hawaii or Maine scallops with truffles or Massachusetts oysters. We try to pay everything back to the producers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just comes down to you grab an ingredient that is super quality and you try not to mess it up too much.
You don't have to do too much.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's all it needs.
Tell me what I have in front of me.
So right here you have Maine diver scallops with shea black truffles.
Oh, no
and a
way.
little truffle juice. This is actually one of my favorite dishes.
It should be in front of you. This is so unfair. And then what else? What else is on the table?
So we have a little California fluke with a little red chili vinaigrette and a Hawaiian tuna tartare, Wellfleet oysters, and little locally raised chicken wings.
I mean, those chicken wings look amazing. What are they dressed in? Tell me about it.
It's actually High West bourbon.
Ah, of course. Got to keep it local.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially what we wanted to do with RIME is we wanted to take what we kind of did with Tupelo, and where it's a ingredient-focused restaurant, ingredient-focused menu. And we wanted to take that up here and showcase more of our seafood purveyors and our ranchers and things, where it's not necessarily maybe a composed dish, but it's dry-aged steak.
Yeah.
Or it's like the scallops, it's a sourced ingredient.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super concise where you're getting it from. You want it
Very
to be the
much
Maine
so.
diver scallops, right?
And that's it. Whether the tuna from Hawaii, it's a very precise thing, and that's the reason we approached this the way that we did. Is we wanted to do something super simple with forward flavors, but forward ingredients.
Oh, I love that.
I think that's the most important thing about RIME.
when people come up to RIME, they can expect some great seafood. They can expect some amazing meat that's very intentionally cared for.
Absolutely. I mean, if it's anything from, you know, Berkshire pork to Desert Mountain beef that we've sourced.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of research in where we procure everything.
We're up in beautiful Deer Valley. We're at the St.Regis Resorts. We're gonna visit the residence side of the resort and sit down with executive chef Matthew Harris. We're visiting his newest restaurant up here, La Stellina, a beautiful Italian-inspired, delicious cuisine. Last time we were up here at RIME talking a little bit of seafood. This time we're gonna get a little bellissima cucina. Chef!
Katy, how are you?
I am doing so well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to see you.
It's always such a pleasure. Anytime I can sit and chat food with you, it's such a good day.
It's fantastic, fantastic.
And you know the drill. I'm looking for a table full of food.
So I think we got you covered.
All right.
You're right this way.
Thank you. Chef, La Stellina is so beautiful.
Yeah, the designer really put a lot of effort into the textures and different tile style and, you know, hardwood floors and the drapery and stuff. So we're super excited the way it came out.
Yeah, it's really, really well executed. And of course, it's this Italian-inspired cuisine, would you say?
Yeah, yeah. We're going for a kind of an Italian-American, very kind of traditional Italian-American New York style here.
I love that. Okay, so maybe go over some of the things that we have on the table, just to share that story.
No, absolutely. You know, we call it a classic carpaccio. We kind of dress it up a little bit with a little Wagyu beef, the classic baked clams and white wine. One of my favorite things every time I go to New York and dine.
It's gorgeous.
This is a little dish that it's pretty simple. It's a fried artichoke in just a little simple lemon dipping sauce. It's fantastic. So we serve those just super traditional.
I love that. Very tried and true, classic Roman dish. And then this looks like cavatelli.
Yeah, it is cavatelli.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And is it bolognese?
Yeah, it's a little cavatelli bolognese. When we were opening the restaurant, we spent a good amount of time in Italy, and we went all the way from Rome, where we got some inspiration for this dish. We went to Bologna and spent some time. We cooked with some ladies, pasta grannies.
Oh, pasta nonas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So we kind of picked up some little tricks and authentic takes on some of the sauces, especially that we make.
This is so rich, so savory. What kind of meat is in this?
So we use we use a spicy Italian sausage.
Okay.
We use ground beef and pork.
It's dense. It's flavorful. The cavatelli is perfectly cooked, and to be able to have learned learn the secret sauce from people who have probably been preparing
generations. I would say generations.
How special, and then to be able to bring that back to us in Utah to be able to tamp.
No, absolutely, and that was really the goal with this restaurant is to be something that's super approachable, something that's a little nostalgic, if you will, and that's approachable, family friendly, that anybody can come in and have a great meal and just feel comfortable.
We have to talk about this massive pork chop that's in front of me.
So this pork chop. So this is a Barrico pork from Nyman Ranch. So it's very well raised and a lot of pride put into the farming and ranching of this particular product. Their guidelines and the stuff that they go by as far exceeds industry standard.
It's really so beautiful. And how are you dressing it?
So what we're doing here is we're actually taking and wrapping that in 18-month-old prosciutto for Parma. A little bit of sage, and we're roasting in a pan with some endive or chicory. Just simple cherry tomatoes and 5-year-old balsamic.
I mean, just a simple dish, but very, very refined. And you have like this savory quality of the sage and the pork itself,
Absolutely.
and then
salty prosciutto, and then the bitterness of the endive.
Yeah.
So even in its simplicity, the way that you've layered flavors and grilled the endive so that there's that sort of smoky essence
flavor,
and quality.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all the ingredients are super simple. There's nothing masked there. It's just all the ingredients are super high quality.
What other things are on the menu? I think I noticed a wood fire oven back there.
So we got a assisted wood oven.
Being sustainable.
Yep.
I love it.
And so that is a imported oven from Italy, and it burns. It goes up to about 1,500 degrees if you wanted it to. We don't take it that far. One of the things that we did in Italy is bring back a pizza dough recipe that we've really had to play with and kind of make sure it works correctly at altitude.
When are you making the pasta in house? It tastes like fresh made.
So we have a pretty complex pasta. We do make some here.
Okay.
We get some from Arthur Avenue in the Bronx.
Wow.
And we get some from Alex Bartolo.
Alex at Bartolo.
Yeah.
And Bartolo's, I mean, what Alex is doing down there is
It's
pretty,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Alex is my guy. Yeah.
I mean, he loves you. It was so cool. We had this great conversation about you because he actually started at J&G Grill.
Yeah. We opened J&G Grill together.
Back in the day.
A long
And then
time
he
ago,
followed you
probably.
out to Nantucket.
Yep, and we went and redid a yacht club there. We redid their whole food and beverage program, and then he was one of the opening chefs at Tupelo.
Yeah, that's what he said, and that
So-
it's really cool because we talked about the Utah food community and restaurants in general and what's so special about them and how mentorship is so important and how much of a mentor you were to him, what this deep impact that you had on his life, and then that you weren't attached to him staying working for you, that you were like, please go off and like, let's support one another. And now he was saying how he has an executive chef that's similar in that regard, that because you helped him, he has helped her, and it's this incredible synergy.
Well, I don't know if I was Alex's mentor. I think that might have went both ways.
Oh,
but
that's so sweet. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Is it's about learning, growing, working hard together, and going out on your own. It's just a plus for the community.
Yeah, I mean, he was bragging about your extruders, which I'm excited to go see it in the back.
Oh yeah.
And he said he came up here and like you guys worked together to kind of perfect a few things.
Before we opened, it's like I said, it's kind of like the pizza dough. You can take a recipe, but as soon as you start to throw some altitude and climate, honestly,
the arid climate,
you can't necessarily follow the recipe. You have to learn a feel, kind of like the biscuits at Tupelo.
And then wine menu. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So we're focusing on a couple of things with our wine menu.
Okay.
Is working with the state and bringing in quite a bit of special order stuff from Italy.
Oh, great.
We're also focusing a lot on using California and U.S. producers that are venturing into Italian grape varietals.
Ooh, there's a great vintner called Altamira, and they do a Nebbiolo, and it's in Napa, and it's like
fantastic.
I mean, unbelievable.
That's one of our main focuses with wine lists is keeping. We're always looking to reduce the carbon footprint, so keeping it here in the U.S., but using Italian varietals.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
One is very special, and the people that are doing those Italian varietals in the U.S. are taking extra special care because it's not the easiest thing to do here.
It's hard. Yeah, it's very
Very
hard.
hard. So we're super excited to support them and get that into the restaurant. Plus, if somebody's taking that much time and that much effort, it's probably going to be pretty delicious too.
Yeah, well said, well said. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Wonderful cocktails, wonderful mocktails. I mean, just so much for everyone. And I think that's one of my favorite things about your restaurants is that no matter who you are, you can come and find something that makes you feel like you belong. And I think that's what good food does.
I just had a kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait for her to start, get older and start eating food so I can share that type of food. But we here at La Stellina, we do have a very expansive kids menu.
I can't tell you how many times I go. I have 24 nieces and nephews and a big family, and anytime we go out to dinner somewhere and there isn't a kids menu, it's tricky. It feels like you have to create but just buttered noodles or something like that.
Yeah.
And some kids have a really sophisticated palate too, which is really special.
I mean, to be honest with you, our kids menu, we have adults come in and be like, "I'll have 2 of those." We're like, "Sure." I myself like a little chicken parmesan, you know?
I think some of the best food experiences are judgment-free. So go in, have that grilled cheese, have that truffle mac and cheese, have just the regular kids mac and cheese. Like, why
No judgment from me,
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to cook with you in the kitchen if you are up for it. It's been a long time since we've actually been in the kitchen together.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, Chef. It looks like maybe we're making pasta.
We're gonna make 2 pastas
Two
today.
pastas?
2 pastas.
Okay, I'm so excited.
These pastas, they're really simple, kind of sticking true to what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Super simple. So we're gonna do a classic spaghetti carbonara that I picked up in Rome.
Love that.
And we're gonna do something I feature with a mushroom and summer truffle tagliatelle.
Oh, summer truffle. Truffle's like one of my favorite ingredients.
Absolutely, it's one of mine as well.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
All right, so let's get started here. So we're just gonna start to warm these mushrooms right here.
Okay.
And what I have here is guanciale.
Guanciale, so it's not
Guanciale.
pancetta.
It's not pancetta.
Okay.
What it does, it gives it a little bit more of an umami flavor.
I love
honestly.
that. I
So,
mean, umami, nice and rich and savory. And
yeah, not that there's anything wrong with using pancetta.
No.
A lot of people do. It's I just feel that guanciale just has a little bit extra.
And what's the oil that it's in?
So that's actually the rendering of the guanciale.
I was kind of hoping you would say that.
Yeah. we reserve all the good stuff.
Yes. Then
So-
no need for waste.
Here we go. Just so you don't.
Oh my gosh, I get to gear up. I love it. Okay,
absolutely.
awesome. Anytime I can wear an apron, I like to think of myself as Utah's favorite sous chef, which I know.
Well, you certainly are.
Oh, thank you, chef.
Right here we have our tagliatelle,
Beautiful.
and we're going to drop that in We're going to drop that in the water. So here we have some local oyster mushrooms.
Oysters, okay,
Yep.
love that.
It's a fella that grows out of Weber State.
Weber State?
Yep.
Oh wow,
Yep.
that's so fabulous.
So we like to use a lot of his oyster mushrooms in as many dishes. A nice kind of meaty flavor.
Oysters
honestly.
just have such a hearty, and then they pair really well with truffle.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what we have here, this is a fairly simple sauce.
Okay.
We're not going to tell any Italians that I make it this way.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
no Italians are watching.
Yeah. This is a little bit of truffle peeling and creme fraiche.
Oh.
That's why we can't tell the Italians.
Yeah.
You know, the French Italian thing.
the creme fraiche. Yeah. Listen,
little
if it's a Matthew Harris kitchen, creme fraiche is being used.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
much
yeah,
I
it's
know.
just- it just
your
has to be.
secret ingredient. It really elevates dishes. It makes them rich. Creates like a little bit of tart, a little acid.
Absolutely. So what we'll do is we will start with that. We'll add a little bit of the pasta water to everything.
Listen, that's very Italian, right?
Well, have you ever heard the term Italian consommé?
No.
It's pasta water.
I love that. Italian consomme. That
Italian
makes a lot of
consommé.
sense, yeah.
So what happens is you're taking you're utilizing the starch from the fresh pasta, and it actually acts as a binder.
I love it. So we've got spaghetti going, and we've got
a little tagliatelle and spaghetti
yeah.
going, and we're just warming through our guanciale.
Guanciale.
And
look how rich and decadent that looks already.
Yeah, we take that, and it's, like I said, it's just a little truffle, a little creme fraiche, and a little pasta water just to kind of bind it together, and you got those nice meaty mushrooms in there.
I love it.
It's one of my favorite. It's super to have on the menu all around because as the seasons change, you know, Matt at Caputo starts to import different truffles.
Yes.
So that's when your big truffles start to hit during the winter.
How much
White
do we love
truffles,
Matt Caputo?
Well, he's the guy.
He just
Yeah.
has helped shift the culinary landscape
Absolutely.
of our state, which is so special.
Absolutely. The thing, also remember,
Okay.
fresh pasta is going to cook a lot quicker.
Okay.
So this pasta is pretty much
It's ready to go. Okay,
So
rad.
what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to give it a little toss just to get, so we can kind of control that water
I love
a
it.
little bit.
Shaky shake, and then
So what we'll do is we will go in here, and if we just need to add a little bit more water to get everything moving along.
It's so clever. I love even just like having the spoon so that you can add the pasta water.
Yeah.
I
So
love
what we
it,
do
so-
is we get that pasta water and the guanciale all mixing up with the spaghetti.
Okay.
So you want to leave this when you're doing it. Keep in mind it's going to thicken when you add the egg.
Yes.
And the black pepper and the Parmesan to it. So you want to keep it just a little loose so you're making your own cream sauce.
I love that,
and
yeah.
you kind of see it, you would be like, oh wow, that's a little watery. But
Yeah.
as soon as you add your magic ingredient here,
So this
Just
is
like
the
that.
egg. This is
so
the,
this is 50% egg, 50% Parmesan cheese.
I love it. So now we have two amazing dishes.
Yeah,
We're about
absolutely.
to plate up.
So I'll come right over here.
Okay.
And we'll
Love
start
it.
with this. And just get in there with the.
Oh, that looks so good,
So
Chef.
then we're going to take our Parmesan,
Okay.
24 month. So, and that is a classic carbonara.
Yeah, and that's all there is to it. That's all she wrote.
So
Boom.
Yeah.
Got
There.
that.
Okay. So
Next up.
for the truffle,
Truffle. You wet the
I
tongs
just
a
wet the
little
tongs
bit.
just so
Love that.
it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
And so we will go right in same way,
Oh, beautiful.
just like that. And then I like to use a little bit pecorino.
Oh, pecorino romano.
Yep.
Okay.
Again, we like to let it rain.
I mean, if you were gonna put cheese on something,
You gotta go for it.
yeah, especially if it's pasta.
And then you got to do this in my style is just let go of the inhibitions.
Wish
thinking
Wish
the truffle,
everyone well,
Yeah.
and it's just
and
like,
just keep shaving.
oh, it's so good.
So.
Chef, this is unbelievable. Again, just like another real treat, a Matthew Harris experience. I can tell what you're doing here at La Stellina Little Star
Yeah.
is that you are creating dishes based on tradition,
Absolutely.
based on seasonal ingredients. Things will shift a little bit throughout the seasons, as they always do,
Yeah.
but you've got tried and true staple, the integrity to making things fresh, making things in-house, and simple ingredients. Sing, it's what you do.
I love it.
Chef, just thank you so much. It's
Absolutely.
been a pleasure.
Love having you.